Well, good morning, and welcome to our MOST 2018 National Tripartite Alliance Conference. It's always beautiful, wonderful to be here with so many industry partners, fellow Boilermakers, friends, and guests. I hope all of you and any family members who may have traveled with you are enjoying this truly beautiful area of coastal Carolina, and I hope you're enjoying this unique humidity as much as I am. We have a great conference planned for you this week with exceptional speakers on topics that are important to our industry, and I'll touch on a few of those as we go along. But first, let me draw your attention to the banners in this room. They represent the 17 MOST programs we have developed together, programs that advance our industry, that move us forward to work more safely, improve performance, and save money for our contractors and our owners. Together, we have achieved a great deal over the past 33 years. And let me just say that our newest program, the Boilermaker Code, is progressing very well across the United States. As you know, the Code and Creed guide our members toward the highest level of professionalism and responsibility on the job, to appreciate that we are guests on an owner's job site, to understand that Boilermakers can only be successful when our owners and contractors are successful, and to be responsible and accountable for everything we do. The Boilermaker Code program is now mandatory, and by the end of 2020, every member will have completed the course. Our Code and Creed are becoming ingrained in the Boilermaker culture. They will make us an even more responsive and effective workforce as we deal with the major issues facing our industry. There is no greater issue impacting us today than the dramatic shift away from coal over the past 10 years. The war on coal by the past administration and its radical environmental allies, along with the rise of abundant and cheap natural gas, have reshaped the electric power industry. These changes have forced power companies to rethink and remake their energy portfolios. So here we are today with far fewer coal plants, plants that once were reliable providers of work for Boilermakers. Well, the resulting loss of man-hours has certainly impacted the opportunity for Boilermakers to earn a living. And this situation is not something that our MOST Alliance can address with a new program. It is a fundamental and long-term shift in how electricity is produced. Well, the union could sit back and pine for the old days and the old ways, but that is not who we are. That is not what we are about. We have to do more to win new work opportunities, and that is exactly what we are going to do with a major new initiative called the More Work Investment Fund. Now, MORE, an acronym, stands for Marketing, Organizing, Recruitment, and Employment. It is a strategic plan that will provide an estimated $25 million annually to promote our craft and secure additional work in both traditional and non-traditional industries. The More Work Investment Fund has been piloted successfully in the Western states under International Vice President Tom Baca's leadership. Today, every international vice president, every district business manager, and every local construction lodge business manager across the United States has committed to supporting the effort. Each international vice presidential section will have its own More Work Action Council made up of the international vice president as chairman and the business managers as council members. The council will guide recruiting, organizing, marketing efforts within the section. We are well into the process of developing our national leadership team of directors to coordinate this effort. Now, here's what MORE, or some of the things that MORE are going to fund do for us. It's going to take us into new industries and connect us to new owners and new contractors. It's going to bring in more members and create and generate more man-hours. It's going to help finance new training centers and ensure we have top trainers in our industry and the latest training equipment and systems. And it's going to put resources in our state capitals to lobby for work opportunities and help you get your projects approved. This isn't speculation. We are already doing these things in the western states with exceptional results, especially in the refinery industry, where we have secured new customers, new contractors, and substantial new work opportunities. The More Work Investment Fund will establish a new era of Boilermaker workforce availability, skills, and performance for our existing clients as well as new ones. And let me just touch on a related concept that Bank of Labor is considering. A bank is looking into a project funding approach for the power generation industry that would be known as the Bank of Labor More Work Investment Fund. Now, essentially, it would involve the construction trades placing funds in the bank as collateral for project loans, most likely in partnership with one of our trusted industry allies. Now, this is just in the product development stage, but I think it demonstrates how we are looking into the future of our craft and of our industry, and certainly to the future role of Bank of Labor as a potential motivator for labor-sponsored projects. Now, I'll be happy to speak with you individually on these exciting initiatives later in the conference, but we have a full slate of speakers this morning, so I need to move on, and we've had to order them in the progression of when their planes have to leave this morning, so that's why we're having to hurry a bit. So as you know, climate change is a challenge that our industry must confront, and not just in the power sector, but across oil refining, steel, cement, chemical, and other industries that emit greenhouse gases. The Boilermakers have long been a proponent of more robust federal support, both in terms of funding and policy, and there is finally some significant movement in Washington with the passage earlier this year of the Future Act, which extends and expands tax credits for carbon capture, use, and storage. There is also, I believe, a broader acceptance of carbon capture technologies as essential to meeting the climate warming limits established by the Paris Climate Accord. We have several prominent speakers today who will be addressing these technologies and government policies, but first I want to introduce a video developed by the Boilermakers and Wide Awake Films that explains the CO2 emission problem and the potential solution that carbon capture, use, and storage can provide. The film was shot in Vancouver, British Columbia during an event sponsored by the International CCS Knowledge Center, and you are the first audience to see it. Can we please roll the video? Well, as you just saw, carbon capture, use, and storage is getting more attention and more traction these days. Even environmental groups like the Nature Conservancy and the Audubon Society are openly embracing CCUS as necessary and important to climate change mitigation. We can expect that the power generation industry and other heavy industries will all be taking another look at the increased federal tax credits available through 45Q and the Future Act, and evaluating whether it now makes sense to include CCUS technologies in their facilities while such credits are available. Now, before I introduce the next speaker, I want you to all kind of take your business hats off and put your family hats on and think about this a little bit, because, you know, we need the jobs. We need to also clean up our industries and keep our planet safe. And, you know, coming from a Boilermaker, that's something. But we're going to introduce a fellow that is an industry leader in just a moment. He really stepped up to the challenge of CCUS technology, and he built a refinery around it. So can we roll the Sturgeon film refinery, please?